I think we did have a debate actually as to whether it was toxic or not, but I think we were quite clear that you could not establish toxicity by looking at a cloud. And I think the message that we wanted to give people was that this was carbon products that were coming from combustion. Even at that stage we were unclear where that came from. I had received advice from Public Health England about another fire that had taken place, quite famous actually, Buncefield, in near Hemel Hempstead, and the feedback I'd got from that outbreak was panic can be more harmful than the actual incident itself, and actually long term there wasn't as much harm as people might imagine just by seeing black smoke, and that actually the biggest issue for us was it looked bad, and the heat of the flames that were there were also sending it straight up. We also established quickly the weather, as everyone could see, there wasn't a lot of wind, so it went straight up. And again, the experience from Buncefield was that actually the dissipation and dilutional effects were such that it was sitting there 2,000 to 3,000 feet up, well above our ability to even smell the incident. So of course we watched it closely, we took advice, meteorological advice about what would happen, and gradually as time went on it became clear that the cloud was heading towards the water, not towards the rock.
When you say that something is not toxic, you say that you debated it. Clearly when something burns you don't want to be breathing in that black smoke if you can avoid it, because it is a health hazard, isn't it?
Well, it's all about dose, and it's if you're in the midst of a fire you'll get pretty nasty exposure and that will do you harm, but you know, I would point this out, most of us are familiar with that is, I don't smoke, but what happens is you put it in your mouth and you inhale it in your lungs, you get a very high dose of chemicals. Again, the experience of Buncefield was the chemicals that were found in that very hot fire were really quite similar to what you find in tobacco smoke, and tobacco smoke includes 3,000 different chemicals, some of which are quite nasty. The issue is not that there's toxic chemicals there, the issue is actually the dose and the harm that you get, and the harm that we all of us know cigarettes harm us, but actually it's the dose over 10-20 years of exposure that really cause the harmful effects.